Hey, what's up guys? Tyler here with Secure Team. Couple things that I want to talk about today. First of which is an update to the video that I put up a couple of days ago where I showed you what appeared to be a craft of some sort caught flying above the moon during one of the Apollo moon missions. I think that was my second to last video. But we had this shot here, as you're seeing, and it had been pointed out to me there was something in the sky, and obviously I thought, well, maybe this is some sort of artifact, but when I zoomed in on it, it became very clear that this was definitely a three-dimensional object of some sort that appeared to have what looked like, it almost looked like a smokestack, if you know what I mean, and it was casting this long shadow behind it. And so I posted that video, and it was kind of just chalked up to another one of these strange things captured near the moon while they went to the moon. We've featured a ton of images like them before, and if you look at all of the evidence, and don't just take my word for it, you will have to come to a conclusion that we were not alone when we went to the moon. And since I put that video up, I got an email from a viewer, and I can't believe that I didn't think about this myself when I was originally posting that video, but I got an email from someone who said, Tyler, you have actually featured what looks like the exact same UFO captured on the moon that you just showed in this image. And he sent me two screenshots. This one that you're seeing here from that video showing the UFO with the cylinder on top. And then he told me to compare it to this shot taken again during the moon missions while they were orbiting it, showing what looks like the exact same object. And when I saw this, and I compared both of these, as you're seeing here, my mind was blown. I literally had to take a step back and say, wow, these look identical. They both have this saucer-like shape to them, and they both have this cylinder or smokestack looking object on top with an opening. And they look identical. And this photograph here of the surface of the moon is probably one of the most well-known photographs on the moon and widely used photographs in ufology. It's been used in documentaries. Anytime there's a researcher or a documentary talking about aliens on the moon or structures on the moon, more often than not, they will feature this picture. And that's because it's a bombshell photograph. This object on the surface, which almost looks like it's been called a part of some sort of nuclear reactor, where you have these long smokestacks where the smoke comes out, just like you would see in nuclear facilities here on Earth. It's been called a satellite dish of some sort. And there's actually another satellite dish-looking structure found just a couple of miles away from this one, and that is what you're seeing here. And this one looks like even more like your traditional satellite. And so it's featured everywhere. It's an amazing piece of photographic evidence showing these massive installations on the moon. And so when I discovered this UFO in this moon photograph, and then I was reminded about this photograph showing what looks, it looks damn near identical to this UFO that has been captured flying near the moon. And I just wanted to show you guys because I think we may have the same object. And that maybe this structure that's actually seen sitting on the moon here, it may not have been a stationary structure at all. It may have been mobile. You know, it may have had the capability to move, to fly. So I wanted to show you guys, get your opinion, and just show you the photographs side by side. And if anything else, you guys will have to agree that these things look very, very similar. They look artificial, and the resemblance is haunting. So, let me know what you guys think about that. While we're on the subject of strange things on the moon, I also wanted to show you a couple of other new photographs that were taken from a book that was published back in the 1970s. And these photographs have been found to show some features or something, show some things on the moon that you can't find in the updated satellite versions. And so this book, which is titled Lunar Orbiter Photographic Atlas of the Near Side of the Moon, contains, just as the title says, an atlas of all of these original lunar orbiter photographs and moon photographs during the Apollo missions. But most of them are lunar orbiter photographs, and that was the unmanned satellite that we sent to orbit the moon and take photographs. It's called the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, and that's exactly what it was sent there to do reconnaissance. And it's been said that this reconnaissance was specifically for them to take photographs of the structures that were on the moon. And so I was looking through some of these images, these old undoctored images from this book that it's very hard to get a copy of unless you want to pay a lot of money. But there was one specific photo that really stuck out to me. Appears to show a triangular crater, a very sharp triangular crater or hole, because this thing doesn't seem to have a bottom. And you're seeing that photograph here. So this region of the moon is called Mare Imbrium, and I would say that this triangle is located near the Diophantus crater. So just to give you some context of where this is the photograph taken from the book, an original NASA film slide. So let's go ahead and zoom in on this triangular hole, which is plain to see before you even zoom in. But let's get a little bit closer and just look at that. You can see it's parked here next to these two smaller craters. And we're going to pull up Google Earth here in a second just to show you that whatever this thing was, it's no longer there, or it's no longer found in the newer versions of this map. But you can see here that the shadowing in the sunlight inside of this triangle matches perfectly with the surrounding craters and the sun's position. So relative to how we're looking at this photograph, the sun is at the northern position, shining down. So the sunlight matches, which would indicate that this is definitely a structure on the moon captured in the original photograph. Not something that was added later, not some sort of glitch. And again, these are film photographs. There's no glitches. These were taken with film. So we'll go ahead and zoom back out here. And man, just look at this. Look at this triangle in this ocean of circles. I mean, it sticks out like a sore thumb. It really does. There even appears to be what looks like another triangular formation here just below it. And I'll go ahead and zoom in on that. Now that looks to be possibly some sort of natural terrain that is just casting a shadow of a triangle. I don't know. But let's head over to Google Moon here, just to show you that this main triangle, this hole here, is no longer there. So here we are on Google Moon. It's a free software program. We're on the area. Let's go ahead and zoom in, and we're going to find those two little double craters that are right next to this triangle. And here they are. So this is an updated map, and obviously there's no big triangular hole to the left of these two small craters. So we have the feature of switching over to some of the older photographs of this area. So let's go ahead and switch to that. Here we are, and once again, no triangular hole. And although these images have been stitched together on Google Moon, I don't see any way that such a large crater or hole could just disappear unless it was airbrushed out. And we know for a fact that former NASA techs, again, admitted that they would go through these lunar photographs and airbrush things while we're told to airbrush these artificial structures out before giving them to the public. Now, if we go over here, here is that other triangle formation, which again looks to be a natural formation. So that was just a trick of light. But when we go back over to these two small craters, there is no hole. There is no triangular structure. There's nothing there. So the question is, was the triangular structure airbrushed out in these newer photographs that have been put on Google Moon, or was this hole only temporary? Was it some sort of mining operation? You know, whatever it was it covered up? Could it have been there back then, filled back in with lunar dust? I mean, I don't know. I'm just spitballing here, but you guys get what I'm saying. It's just very, very strange that it's not here now. But again, you look at the original image, and you can clearly see that this thing has shadows, it correlates with where the sun is, and it's giving us the same identical reflections as the craters around it. So, an amazing find. And one other photograph I wanted to show you, taken from this same book, was actually found by Scott Waring over at UFOsightingsdaily.com, where again, he found something very strange in a crater, and you're seeing that image here, circled in red. And this was actually located near Plaskett Crater. And as you can see, once again, we have another one of these triangular craters. This time, you can actually see some sort of circular object sitting in the center of it. So let's go ahead and zoom in on this. And you can clearly see the sunlight hitting this circular object. It's casting a shadow. Again, another triangular crater. I mean, this is just... I don't know how you could look at this, even as a skeptic, and say, yeah, this is natural. There's nothing to this, Tyler. How can you say it? How can you convince yourself, other than you just refuse to believe, or you're too scared to believe, that there are things out there, there are things on our moon that aren't natural, that aren't from us. And hell, this could be from us. It's not out of the realm of possibility that we have bases up there on the moon. And so... you guys take a look at this and some of the other stuff I've shown you, and you tell me, does the evidence point to something natural, or does it point to the possibility that there are things on the moon that don't belong? Now, before I go today, I wanted to talk about yesterday's video, where I had spoken briefly about the rock band member Tom DeLonge being awarded the UFO Researcher of the Year award. And after I posted that video, and I listened to what I had said, I realized that I kind of came off as jealous or butthurt, as some of the people in the comments stated. And rightly so. I mean, I'll just say this. I didn't choose my words carefully. And there was a point in the video where I said, well, where's my award? You know, where are the awards for all of these other channels? And... although I was being sarcastic when I said that, I mean, I could care less about getting a tacky award from some website out there, alright? My award is you guys, alright? My award is this channel. This plaque here that was given to me by YouTube when I surpassed 100,000 subscribers, that's my award. And hopefully, the 1,000,000 subscriber plaque, if we get that far. You know, that's my award. My award is just being able to run this channel and hang out with you guys. And that's what I was trying to say in my last video. I don't have anything personal against Tom DeLonge. Alright, I don't. The reason I was so upset, I mean not really upset, but just ticked off, was not that he had gotten an award. Alright, again, I could care less. But it was the fact that the government was using Tom, and is using Tom, as the figurehead of ufology, and is likely feeding him disinformation. Because the government does not just pick out a celebrity and start spilling their guts about aliens or any of this other secret stuff. And so, as an outsider looking at this situation, it just seemed to me like the topic of ufology was being set up once again, where we're going to have this celebrity that nobody really knows about. We're going to have people feeding him information, and then that same information will likely be picked up by the mainstream media, and once again, we will look like a joke to everybody. So that was my beef. Not with Tom, not with the award. You know, best wishes to Mr. DeLonge. I hope that he really does bring something to this topic, and is not just being taken advantage of. Having said that, I'm going to jump off here, do some more work, so thank you all for stopping by. Let me know what you think about these crazy moon images, and of course, stick around, because I'll be seeing you guys back here in just a bit. Stay safe, guys.